Guys, welcome back to another episode of Unmotivated. We're back with our guy Syed. The goal is to get as much done as we can before he boards his flight. Now, Syed, I think we're just going to get into a little bit of life, man.
Yeah.
You're a person that I think has definitely a lot of depth of character. You say you lived in 12 countries?
11. This is the 11th. Yeah.
11 countries. So
Yeah.
when did you start moving? Why did you start moving?
So I was born in Pakistan.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of people, especially in America, these Western world, like Australia, that was my first country that I moved to. But back home, we don't have a lot of great opportunities.
Really?
Right. So that's why we don't take opportunities for granted. And once we have the opportunity, we appreciate it, we maximize it, because we know it's not going to last for long. So
What are some of the best opportunities out in that region of the world?
so first of all, out of all the countries, you're talking about Pakistan, Dubai, Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, Singapore, here in States, in Canada. USA is the one of the greatest country when it comes to opportunities. Yes, we got the shittiest food that we talked about,
Yeah.
but the opportunity wise for your growth if you want to have that safe financial safety net, that's where USA, I think it's one of the best in my personal opinion, from my own experience,
Mm-hmm.
because I've lived in the longest I've lived in it was in Australia, Melbourne. I was there for a little over 5 years. Great country, great people. I still have some friends. It's been almost 10 years now,
Sheesh.
10 to 11 years since I left there, but I still have some friends that I still talk to. And if I visit, I know we'll hang out. Great people, but the opportunity wise, I didn't see a great potential there. I didn't see there were too many restrictions, and then plus, I wouldn't call it a racism. I never faced a racism over there, but I would call it a preference. They would prefer Australians first, in my experience.
Yeah.
That being said, I had some really great friends. Then I worked. I mean, you start from the bottom up, and you go bottom up, and then all my odd jobs that I was telling you guys yesterday, washing cars, doing cleaning. I had a cleaning job in RMIT, the Melbourne Institute of Technology, and vacuuming, mopping. I still remember those days, man, and I never forget the time that it has taken, and the sacrifices, and then the consistency, commitment to get to where I am. Because when people meet me now and they see that, oh, okay, cool, we talked about, I never post what kind of vehicles I'm driving. I never post okay, I'm traveling, or look at me, I'm business
But
class.
you were raised around wealth too, to a degree, and
No.
and I don't mean it was just there's a subtlety to wealth, right?
Mm-hmm.
The more wealthy people you meet, they don't do that stuff. Only idiots on social media do.
Exactly.
Like Jay-Z said in the song, "If I see money to your head, but that's a disconnect."
Yeah.
You go, what,
You
what
just
do
lost me right there.
You lost me, man. You lost if you can't own a building, don't hold a bunch of cash to your head.
Exactly. The goal is to be rich, not look rich.
And that's the thing too. But we talked about, or I don't know if I talked about you, but a lot of people have broken spirits, man, and that spirit is fulfilled by materialistic things. So the chauvinism, in a sense, or the pride and ego they take into look at me because nobody's ever looked at them, but they also installed a bunch of values. One of the values you and I discussed last night was family.
Yep.
And it's important. And to consider or put somebody above you or before you is, it gives you a different perspective, right?
Exactly. Because then you're not just doing it for yourself. You are. There's one thing I've learned in life, bro. Responsibility is not given; it's taken. You're not like my dad never came to me and told me that, hey, Syed, you're responsible to take care of the family, or you're responsible to take care of your, little brother or whatnot. My dad is still, he still wants to work and stuff. Even right now, we just want him to chill. But the thing is, me being where I'm from, how my upbringing is, and what my own principles are in life, I took that responsibility. I just assumed it that, okay, I don't care what anybody thinks or say. I want to make sure my family is good.
Yeah.
If for that I need to work myself to the ground, then be it. That's what I'm gonna do. That's just how it is. I want to make sure that they're good.
And what made you take on that responsibility, man?
It's just growing up, taking we talked about family, seeing my dad, how he's involved, how he took care of my grandma, how he took care of his own siblings, how he was a selfless man, and he still is. That he just doesn't care about him, and I'm like, okay, it's good. That's what I saw. And then he's not a quitter. He never quit. I mean, I saw him now at this age, with this experience. I go back and I think and I see that how many times my father failed in his life, business wise, right? Because he has that entrepreneurial mindset, and that I will never work for somebody.
Yeah.
I will do my own thing. So he kept trying different things, whether it's starting snacks bar, restaurants, or whether it's starting with his friend a pickle business. It was like a pickle, a chicken. I remember those days, but he never quit.
Yeah.
He never. I never felt that hey, this is it. Like I never felt that in his attitude. Even so now, because now at that time I didn't know.
Watch his spirit break. That's the biggest thing. Yeah.
No. And then he always wanted to do good for his family. We weren't rich, bro. But our dad, he took care of us very well. I studied in private school. It was a freaking expensive school. That's why I'm glad, because whatever I am right now, I am because of my parents.
Yeah.
Not just my upbringing, right? But they made sure that I go to good school for my studies, right? I speak English. English is not my first language. I wasn't born in English environment. My family doesn't speak as fluent as I do. It's when they understand and all that stuff. But the thing is, the environment, and they made sure that I do good in life. But they didn't do it. They didn't do it because they wanted something in return. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just different.
Life's about perspective, though, and unfortunately, not everybody gets a good perspective on life. So your family just put you in position to improve your perspective so that you could see things and create a path for yourself, man. And a lot of kids don't get that opportunity to be clear, people. A lot of kids will never get a chance to see how big the world can be and how important they could be to the world.
Bro.
Isn't it crazy that when you talk about selflessness, I used to tell people who were, gung-ho religious people, I said, listen, man, don't come in here quoting no bunch of Bible to me, boy. I didn't read that thing about 5 times. I said, matter of fact, what's the greatest lesson in the Bible? And he says, well, you got Job and you got Zacchaeus, the tax collector. And he was going through his little thing. And I said, it's just being selfless, man. I said, when you read every story of sacrifice, it is taking yourself out of the equation. Even in John chapter 8, it says, he who is without sin cast the first stone, because they bring in the woman who was an adulteress. So I'm like, and even Jesus keeps saying, honor my father, don't honor me. Leave me alone, basically. I'm just here to spread the word, the word, share the message. Take me out the equation. A lot of times you got to take yourself out of the equation.
People took that wrong, and people started worshiping him.
Man, look, I know you know.
You know what I mean? But we don't want to get into a religious topic.
No, it's just one of those things where I love that selfless nature is one of the things that you possess, because you're like, I've been around you now for a little bit. You say, man, do you know this guy's, how can I help? Or, hey, do you need this? And I approach things the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think anything of it for the longest time until it was like somebody said it. And like, hey, you care about people more than you say you do.
Yes, you do. You do. That's true, because like, you and I connected. Now we're here, but again, I can feel, I can see that you want me to do better. I'm the same way.
Oh yeah.
I see things like I was having a conversation last night with Jamarcus, right? I don't think he needed my advice, or he wanted my advice. I would
9
say
out of 10 men need a conversation. They don't get 99.9% of the time, and most of us don't have people that we can talk to.
Yeah, but him and I, we were talking, and then I told him, I was like, bro, I'm a blunt guy, so if I say something, you can just tell me that, hey, said I don't want. But
and I'm gonna tell you, never say that again. I'm abrasive like you.
Yeah.
And I'm betting I'm gonna piss somebody off 100% of the time if we come in contact. Because think about it, we live in a pussyfoot era.
Yeah.
So because of social media, everybody wants to be liked, and so now when, let's say, I approach you, I'm telling you something, and I've got to worry about, I hope he likes me after this. No, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So you go up. Oh, he's hard to deal with. Everybody around me, yeah, he sure is, but you gonna get better around that motherfucker.
Yep.
And I have to tell people, like, I'm a good coach. A good coach ain't somebody you like; it's somebody you respect.
Exactly.
And Ray Lewis said it best in one of his preps. You put a little compilation on the Ray, and he says, live to be respected, to hell with being liked. Let's get out here and get after it, y'all. So he's these men like, yo, when we go out here on defense and punch these motherfuckers in their face, look, the hell with being like, let's knock their heads off. You know what I said? So guys like you have experience, poise, you're composed, so it's not malicious. And that's my thing. I'm not saying I'm malicious. I just don't care about the fuck you feel.
Yeah. It's that's the word, feelings, right? So I learned from my boy Sam Siaki, right? And then next time you come, I'm gonna ask him to stop by. You're gonna like him. He's a great dude. He's his brother to me now. And he used to be my boss, but not anymore. But the thing is, even he understood what I am. He recognized my skill set also, so he would bounce off of ideas off of me. Even still, we talk the same way, but back to feelings. So he had told me one thing. He's like, Syed, I want you to do better. You're an animal. You're a killer. I know what you can achieve. I know what you can do. So the way I'm gonna coach you, the way I'm gonna mentor you, his words, I don't give a fuck about your feelings.
Oh, yeah.
I care about your well-being.
You know how hard that is
And
for
I
people
picked it.
to...
And I'm like, bro, there's nothing you can do to me or say that fucking piss me off. I'm here to learn. I'm here to do better. And I'm glad what he fucking rode me hard, bro. Yeah. And again, him and I got, because again, difference of opinions, and him and I, we got into arguments a lot at the same time. There were times that we won't I would walk out of his office. Fuck it. You know what I mean? So back to the feelings thing, that people, like you said, the era of pussies, and I don't know the exact words. Dana White had said something, the similar thing, that, dude, the place, the world we're living in, there are so many pussies out there, and pussies means, I take it as pussycat. They get scared, and they're just not willing to do what it takes. Again, it comes to Sam Siaki, right?
But they also haven't been in a stressful situation. Because you like, for instance, say you have kids.
Yeah.
You've now created a better life for yourself, right?
Yeah.
Your kids will never have the conditions you had to make you who you are.
Oh, they will. I'll fucking provide those.
But you get my point, though, right?
Yep, yeah.
The fact that there's food, I came from my mom said, I didn't even know he didn't like half the food. My mom made $4 at one job, $5.15 at another job, 3 kids, and slept all Saturday and Sunday. So you go, oh, wow, we have a problem here. And part of the problem is we don't have any food in the refrigerator. There's no situation where I've ever, even if I have, like, put a kid where there's no food in the fridge.
Yeah.
But that does something to your mind when you're growing up and you don't have resources.
Yeah.
Toys for Tots. I was a Toys for Tots kid, people. My mom could not get Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
So when them white folks would show up and bring us little foo-foo, trucks and things, because that was the best that they had.
Yeah.
I wasn't a kid. When you say privilege, there was the only privilege I got was to be alive. And now the privilege I have to be better is what I take advantage of every day. So
100%.
those conditions, though, I would never put that level of condition because it fucks with your mind when you don't have resources to eat, to sleep.
Like this, somebody had said, I just don't remember people's name, right? These because but I read things, I hear things, and I listen to things. They said, strong man creates strong
tough times create strong men.
Tough times create strong man, and then it's a cycle. And then their kids come and they were born in strong times and good times, and that it affects them a different way.
Yep.
And it weakens them, but it comes down to your upbringing. If you have a daughter or a son, doesn't matter the fucking gender, it's up to you how to raise them.
Oh yeah.
You want to make sure that they are being raised not to give person an opportunity to cuss them out. You know what I mean? Because if somebody cussing you out, other than they're being freaking crazy, but that means you did something, you gave them the opportunity. So when the way I carry myself, a part of the my height and whatnot, it's the presence, the poise that you talked about in our last podcast, that you would think twice before you fucking with me.
Well, just even that, man. I believe that there's a way in which you care, and it's been my same way. There's more of a respect thing when people see people like you. Yeah. So what I've learned through my living in a little bit of time, African American men at times can be tumultuous and challenging, especially amongst their own people. Mm-hmm. What I've watched, and I've recorded videos and posted them, and people have been around. Big old black police officer run down the side of Papa Do's to shake my hand. And he's saying, sir. And I'm like this, excuse me, brother, because this is a big Negro. But what I've done is carried myself with so much dignity and respect that the best of them have said, whatever you do, make sure you show them respect. And their minds, right? So they approach that way. So in your case, because of your poise, you look like a determined individual. You definitely have that energy of confidence. Mm-hmm. You have clarity, which raised, but my papa said the most powerful thing between two men. I've been clear as fuck online and in real life. So they meet me and they go, dude, that was a good interaction. So they can't really hate if you wouldn't. Some of them want to.
Exactly.
But then you shake their hand and say, how can I help? And they go, oh, shit, dude.
Yeah.
I taught one of my kids who used to play running back. He almost broke Darren Sproul's record. I said, every time a linebacker hits you, get up, shake his hand, tell him good job. And I remember Joel Spiller. He played at Shawnee Mission West, and my running back was at Shawnee Mission South. He said, Trev, you want to hate Gabe, but he's such a nice guy, man. Even on the football field, he's thanking me for the hits. I said, yeah, because it shouldn't happen. Mm-hmm. So he's got to thank you for the opportunity to get better. You don't know the other side of it because I've worked with all the schools.
Yeah.
I said, but we have to improve, and the best way to, I say, crush anybody is to edify them. Mm-hmm. Like, well, you thought I was going to do such and such? No, I don't have that kind of energy.
Yeah.
I'll protect myself, but I'm like, I'm diplomatic. We get to the right state in life. I'm like,
but your attitude, dude, you want to help, right?
Oh, I have to.
You're lending your helping hand to everyone and anyone that needs it. That doesn't mean, guys, listeners, that doesn't mean you're gonna blow up his Instagram account. Questions.
Respond.
That's
like
not
this
how it
more,
works.
Though. I like this more. I tell people, if you get me in real life, you get the best of me. I like this right here, where I get to sit down with people, break bread per se, have these moments of quiet and silence. You've been at the house, like I was at your house. It was quiet, silent. Mm-hmm. People came through. It was good energy.
Yep.
And it was work getting done. All that stuff online, it's real because we do that work. Like, that's not make believe.
Exactly. We're not fucking making content yet. It's the real life we're living, and we're shooting that. That's it.
That's it, man. So I do have to help. And Ray Lewis, again, I've watched different things. I don't only watch football, but I watched the 30 for 30 60s, and he just said, he wanted to be one of the greatest servants to ever walk this earth. I don't know if that's true or not, but I said I felt that because if I can serve in a way that improves one person, then I'll leave the world better than it was. And then I said, man, well, what? You heard my buddy Scott call last night, and he started talking about those disciples.
Yeah.
I said, Scott, I thought I had to do this alone. I said, and I just said, man, if I had 12 disciples and I gave everybody the power they needed to go and shape the world, I said, I could move this thing. And I said, here it comes as I'm continue to compound all of my ideas and the opportunities are presented to us. I said, I'm finding more soldiers, people who actually can execute and are worth a damn, and even more importantly, can enrich another person's life just by a setting, aka a sitting.
Yep.
Somebody come in contact. If you ever come in contact with Syed and you get to talk to him, you're gonna learn something most importantly about yourself. And that is the indicative of being a great man. When you meet people and it make you really think about how you can be better, that's a great person.
Yeah, exactly. And then stop. I don't understand another thing when people hate on the people that doing better than them. Well, as the sooner you learn and accept that, hey, the individual A is doing better, and I come across individual A, it's my opportunity to learn from them, ask the right questions, and seek help, and just take advantage of that opportunity instead of hating on them. Like I travel to these big kennels in Europe, right? We talk about in USA, this and that. Even from a business point of view, we're talking. Those kennels they're at a different level. Different level. Now, I could have critiqued from a business point of view, but it's not my job. I was like, you know what? I'm going to learn from them because they're doing better than me. I started picking their brain that, hey, walk me through on your breeding processes. How do you think? How do you plan your breeding? How advanced do you plan? How do you go about keeping a puppy and all that stuff? So all those things have helped me to be where I am, and then have an eye of a puppy when I'm picking for myself. A lot of time when my clients come and they pick and they're like, I'm like, yes, you're paying me a lot of money for your pick. I want to make sure you get the best match. So, anyways, back to the initial thing, like the earlier we're talking, like whatever it takes to achieve your goal.
Yeah.
And first of all, have a goal, and then I was talking with Sam Siaki, my boy Sam, and he said that, dude, are you willing to do whatever it takes? And I said, yeah, you know me, bro, kill or be killed. But what would it take? So his response, it takes what it takes, motherfucker.
This is true.
So now here I am working to be better and better and better every day. That, hey, how can I make my life better? How can I make my breeding program better, right?
What's the first thing you figured out about making your life better?
So first thing I figured out, again, I always say, guys, have a goal in life. If you don't have a goal, that means you don't even know what the fuck, where you want to go in life.
I told a kid that once. I said, man, what college you want to go to? He says, man, T-Fit, I don't know. I said, it'd be a shame to show up somewhere and be nowhere at the same time.
Yeah.
I said, imagine going to a place and there was nobody there because you didn't know where you want to go. You got all these skills, and you don't know if you need to be training to get to Oregon, Texas Tech. I said, there's certain programs that have an identity, right? And in that identity, you got to either fit there or stand out so much that they're like, we can put him here.
Yeah.
I said, so if we don't know where to land, then we don't know what work we're doing. If we don't know what work we're doing, you're just wasting your time. So get out of here, man.
And not everybody has the ability to identify what they want to do in life. They're confused. They're again, like the word you use, clarity. They don't have that clarity. They just can't see. Even you can put the path in front of them, they won't know what the fuck to do with that, right?
Put one foot in front of the other. Now walk down this road.
And
what happens when the branch falls? Pick the fucking branch up and move it out the way and keep walking. And what happens when it snows? Remove the snow with a shovel.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't have those things, and that's where the mentorship comes, right?
Yeah.
And it comes down to surrounding yourself around like-minded people. Now that surround yourself with like-minded people, it could go sideways also. Because if you're a piece of shit and you're surrounding yourself with like-minded people, you're going to stay a piece of shit, right? You hang out with 5 losers, you're going to be the 6th one.
Or no, if you hang out with 5 losers, you are the 6th loser.
You know what I mean? So surround yourself, I say, people that are doing better than you, right? Yeah. Yes, they are like-minded. You know, they have the drive and then, you know, the clarity and everything, but they're doing better than you. And then you can learn from each other. It's not just a one-way street. It's gotta be both way, because you gotta help each other out to lift up. Otherwise, bro, it's.
What do you think would keep men together, man? I mean, you know, women do their little stuff, and they come. I mean, they hate each other, but they be fucking with each other. women, look, y'all got some weird stuff y'all do. Y'all hate that bitch next to you, but motherfucker be right there with her 7 days a week. I think women got more friends that they hate that they fuck with than men.
Everybody's a best friend.
Yeah. But what do you think would bring more men together, man?
To me, brother, I say family. It's very important.
Do you invite these people into a space where you call them? I mean, Dom Toretto, aka the Fast and Furious, hey, family, that family thing.
So perfect. So that example, right? So he's like a little extreme, family all the time. So you gotta just.
So you have seen Fast and Furious.
Yeah. So you just gotta take a couple notches down. But the thing is, it's like. It cannot be forced. It gotta be organic.
Yeah.
Right? It cannot be forced. Like I have friends. I don't have a lot of friends. Why? Because I'm very picky.
You gotta be, man.
I don't allow people in my circles, in my house, that, hey, you can come. No. I'm very picky who my friends are. And then I have my friend's family I consider them my family, because that's how my mind, that's how my culture is, that's how I've been raised, growing up. What keeps men together is the not just the goals, not just the success and stuff, because again, you're gonna have a friend that is like your family, your brother or whatever. He's not gonna be as successful as you. That doesn't mean you fucking kick him out of your circle. No, but that, hey, having that trust and that rapport, that, hey, yes, Travis is gonna have my back. If something goes down, he is gonna have my back.
But that beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah. So that is something very, very big, and if you can have that. Not expectation, I wouldn't say, because I don't really expect things from people, because
but that's the beautiful thing about friends. I'll tell you, the guy who bought this house, my buddy Rich, I didn't know that he was a friend until one day I got stranded. And I'm saying this not because I called him, it's because I actually called somebody else to come and help who I thought was a friend, and they were like, oh man, I'm with my friends right now, I can't come. And this Negro was with us all day. And I was like, damn, that's crazy, man. And so I called Rich. He says, oh, ain't no question, I'm on the way. And I was like, oh, wow. And now, mind you, I've known him for some time, but it's those unexpected expectational moments where you realize this motherfucker gonna be there.
Exactly.
and be like, yo, you need anything? You good? Hey, let's stop and get some food. You go.
Yeah.
Shit. And it wasn't even, literally the question was removed. And even if he had responded in a way where, hey, man, I'm actually out of town, bro, but shit. You need me to get you Uber or something? Like, Rich is a kind who would help you solve a problem. And I'm one of them people who don't got even got none for real. Like, if I call you in the need, it was like, man, it's like very rare.
Yeah.
That I'm ever been in that predicament, right?
Mm-hmm.
But friends and family, man, that's such a hard topic for me in general, because I don't, like when you say brother, we talked about it last night, I'm like, I don't trust that nigga.
Yeah,
and when you say mother or father, I don't talk to either one of them. Yeah. At all. Like 15 years for real. Like my mom, she'll message and she'll comment and stuff.
It goes both ways, bro. So when you guys come next to our house and you're gonna meet my mom, my dad, you will feel the love, the respect that I guarantee you, because I know my mom.
Yeah.
She is going to treat you exactly the same way she treats me. I'm not even kidding.
And that's a beautiful thing, people, because that's humanity, man. You look, a person showed me humanity, and it's a humanity that people like me don't always get to see. And I can't wait to experience it. And mind you, also for those that don't know, when I was a kid, I was yearning for that family, right? So I tell people I was a Gotro, I was an Anderson, I was a Clark, I was everything but a Cochran for a very long time because my family didn't exist. And so when I could go and hang out with Susie or Jackie, and Jackie's, like, mind you, Susie, Sean Gotro, Zach Clark, Jackie, and Brandon Anderson's mom, such a beautiful soul. I'd be with Delbert. I'd be with these people all the time because their mothers had something my mother does not have. They were parents and they cared.
Yeah,
they literally cared.
The care, the love, the respect that you feel, and that's what you gravitate towards.
Crazy. I was like, I've never oh wow.
Yeah.
I never seen that. I still, I see it. So the irony is I love going into settings where I get to be a part of people's lives and family and whatever. And like, hey, my wife's doing, whatever's going on. You're like, man, this is crazy to see this kind of stuff. I remember the first time I was in Arizona, actually. It's a guy out there named Jeremy Master when I lived there for a little bit. And I remember him hugging his dad when I was 21 years old and telling his dad he loved him. And I thought that was the craziest shit I ever seen in my life. I'm never going to forget that. His dad, before going upstairs, hugged, hey, Jeremy, love you, man. You guys be safe and have a good night. Did you tell Trevor what you fucking did? And the Jeremy had took some steroids at the time, and his back broke out. But when he took his shirt off, he's like, I said, oh, yeah, that brother didn't juiced up a little bit. But I had nowhere to go and needed a place to stay. He said, Trevor, you can stay here a couple nights, man. Dad said it's fine. And I'm never going to forget that vivid moment of, this dude hugged his dad and said he loved him.
Same thing here, bro. I hug and kiss on his shoulder, and
I never in my life seen this, man. 21 years.
Yeah.
And I can't even imagine doing it. It's like seeing that shit, bro.
Yeah. It's I wouldn't call it sad or this and that and blah blah, like get all emotional about this shit, but I would say that whatever you didn't have, you got it, the parents wise, from your friends that you were just mentioning.
Yeah.
Because God has his ways to deliver and make people as bridges between those deliveries. And that's what you deserved it. You didn't get it from your own parents. It sucks, right?
And it compound today because even in these moments where you're here, I'm thinking, man, last time I had a friend was in the 8th grade, and that was, guys, a long time ago, man.
Yeah.
So I've never considered or trusted people for a very long time, but now when the stuff's compounding, you go, man, remember how nice Brandon's mom was to you? So you meet these people and there's just love. There's this energy that we talk about. You cannot deny.
Yeah.
And there's only one other person who could ever, we'll just say, indirectly control me. And what I mean is, my grandmother has a friend named Sister Bland. I've told people this story. I said she has a God component in her that you could have the worst day in the world. If you walked in the house and Sister Bland was there, your whole day just flipped, bro. She gonna grab you, hug you. You see her,
wow.
You just beeline it. Something comes over you, and I'm not even a loving person, and you're something happens. I'm telling you right now, something happens, and I know this because my dad, he's at Hereford House before I stopped fucking with him, and my grandmother, everybody's there, and again, I haven't seen Sister Bland in like 5 years. I haven't talked to my dad in forever. Long story short, walk into Hereford House. This table of, like, let's just say 8 people. Soon as you see Sister Bland, you boom, your brain goes, hug, kiss Sister Bland. And my grandmother says, and mind you, I haven't talked to her at that time in 4 or 5 years. I don't get a hug. I said, stop playing like you never gave us no hugs. That ain't who you are. And this is in front of everybody. So Sister Bland triggers the love. My grandmother triggers the nigga. And the nigga says, stop it. And I said this, and my dad just kept eating like, look, Mom, stop playing. You know, and she's not my family's not a loving person in that regard, but Sister Bland, it's like your bodily functions, whatever hate are in your heart. She's that one in the movie where like the gangster or gangbanger like kill you. He didn't kill 15 people, but if you go and bother, he's like, look, we don't bother Mom now. We'll fuck you up, bro. We do not hurt that person. So it's been refreshing to say the least to come in contact with people like yourself who are driven by friends and family. And I don't mean driven in a way where you got to have them. It's like, yo, you appreciate what you have.
Yeah.
And a part of appreciation, people, is that value continues to appreciate, which means how do we continue to build a stronger bridge?
Yeah.
And that's the stuff we're doing now.
Yeah.
That's these content moments. That's these living moments. That's hell. Like Syed said, leaving his house. I'm like, bro, if I was where he was at, I couldn't justify ever leaving.
Yeah. That's the thing. People don't understand. So me personally, you talk about taking the dog to a park and this and that. I got a park in my backyard.
Exactly. Literally.
You talk about taking to puppy thing. We just built a freaking puppy playground. Like a real deal I'm talking about.
Turf and everything. I've seen it.
You talk about having like this designated training area for dogs. We have that. So we got all these things. And now my next projects that's in plan for the house, for the property, you will see, hopefully. And I don't feel a need to leave, to go anywhere unless I'm going on vacation.
That's it, man. And you like to travel, so it's good to get out and stretch your legs. But you go, I ain't got to leave my house, man. I got my dogs. You got your wife.
Yeah.
You got your family there most times when they're in town. And you go, where am I supposed to go and live better than this?
Exactly. What am I gonna do? Why should I go? So I appreciate you welcoming me in your house, and the hospitality and everything. And I don't really go nowhere. This is the first ever place that I visited from a content wise and social media wise and all that stuff. But
and I thought that stuff was stupid and crazy too. But had I not opened my mind, like, yo, there are people out here really making collaborations and doing great things and becoming friends. And it goes back to, hey, I'm not a streamer yet, but you look at Kai Cenat and you say, why would Kevin Hart, who did $50 million last year, be on a stream dancing with this little young Negro? For one, it's fucking fun. That's who he is. Yeah. And what's funny is, man, I hate TikTok's not around just yet. Yeah. It's coming back. But I remember, long story short, my buddy, I said, man, you need to get on TikTok. And he was like, man, ain't that for kids? I said, dude, don't act like you didn't dance and have a good time when we were kids. You want to grow up so fast, and now you hate your life. I said, so you like, ain't it for kids? Maybe. But there's other things in there that are, and then so he got on there. He goes, damn, dude, this is cool. I said, I told you, bro. I'm telling you right now. If anything, so there's a Picasso quote I think somebody told me the other day. Oh, never mind. I was watching Diary of a CEO. He said, let's put it like this. Michelangelo said it took him 4 years to learn how to paint like Picasso. It took him a lifetime to figure out how to paint like a child. So we get rid of that child and that curiosity and that wonder and that joy and that love and that kindness. There was a time you didn't even know the world was evil. Yeah. And so part of my personal introspection in terms of how I'm working on myself is like, how do I get back to when I remember being a kid and Kelly Knight and kindergarten and Zach Clark and Caleb Foreman, and you go, we didn't see color. We didn't know that we were different. Yeah. We were having fun racing on the playground. There was no issues until we got older. I'm like, dude, I got to get back to that point where there was no issues, man.
My boy tell me that, hey, have fun. You gotta have fun. And then what I have learned, and specifically from you also, bro, it's like, and I appreciate that me, before coming in contact with you, whatever I was posting, just dogs, puppies. But people didn't know me until you meet me. Until like my clients knows me. Until they become my clients, they don't know. Yeah. So then I really want to help people. I really want people to do good, and that's why a lot of time unintentionally I piss people off, because I just when I see something wrong, I'm like, let's just fix that. This is how you do it.
But you pissing them off is them having an issue within themselves.
Exactly. It's like they don't want to be helped.
And that's why. So in the social media world, people, I don't watch stories and I don't bother. I tune everybody out. 2 reasons. Back in the day when I had the T-Fit thing going, if I said something, which I do a little preaching every now and then, people be like, oh man, you must be talking about me. I'm like, my nigga, I didn't get this thought from your stupid ass. And so if I, again, oh, he's watching my, you go, these niggas would be on some stupid shit. So you go, for one, I don't give a shit anyway.
Yeah.
I don't care about your dogs. I don't know you, so I don't care about you as a person. So I had to stop watching, doing it just so I could prevent. And then I go, these niggas ain't doing nothing, no way.
Yep.
They don't even have a plan. But to your point, a lot of them are in their feelings because they live a problematic life.
Exactly.
So everything's a problem. Everybody else is the issue. Nothing's ever their fault. They got no responsibilities. I love that word. And they don't hold themselves accountable. So if you say something like, oh man, this you, oh my,
Just
I'll be like this.
accountability, man. Just you gotta like David Goggins had said that, hey, check yourself. That accountability mirror he had when he was going through his journey, David Goggins, and he would write on Post-its and paste it on the mirror, and then he would check himself.
The best conversations you should have are with yourself, but make sure, like Syed said, even about his dogs in another episode, and even what we talking about now, you got to be honest with yourself. I know I can be better, man. I know I can be better,
100%.
especially in the human side. So the one component I think I'm missing, which I appreciate him for being here, is humans. Is the human element, because I'm not ever trusted friends, don't fuck with family, and I'm like a people person in people time, but I'm like, dude, this dude's a caring dude. He's got great dynamics to him. I said, man, I probably could learn something from this guy, man. And same thing with Richard the Bear. I mean, my favorite clip is us pulling up to Richard's house and him opening the door before I get there. Like, we just pulled up and he's getting out, like he's like yanking the door open to give you a hug. You go, man, I don't remember those days. Like, this shit, fuck this little things.
Yeah, he was welcoming you. He was happy to have you there.
Tim asked me when we went to KBF, he said, Trevor, what was one of your takeaways? I said, probably how kind your brother and them were to me. He said, really? I said, dude, I woke up, grown men. And I'm the only black person, to be clear, people. So if some people say, hey, it's about color, I'm like, I be around a lot of foreigners and white folks, and be honest. I don't be around a lot of Negroes. But when I woke up in the morning, these guys it was 4 cups of coffee made. Hey, do you want a croissant? Hey, do you need this? I'm like this. What in the? Hey, Trevor, don't drink your whiskey. Drink some of this $2,000 bottle we got. Don't drink all your stuff. You go. So the whole time I'm just thinking, what is happening here, man?
Yeah.
What is that? He said, I said, yeah, Tim, you don't understand, man. I grew up in hell, literally. I said, so when them little kind moments for me, eye-opening, bro. They fuck with me because I don't understand them. I mean, I literally, whatever you see in a movie where...
But good thing about you don't understand them. Like, we talked about friends, we talked about family, we talked about having that circle of trust and the tightness and, closeness.
Oh, yeah.
That you don't understand, you say, but you're willing to embrace it. You're willing to accept it.
It's a have to.
And that's something is very, very important, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't understand it, but I don't have time for that, right?
I think the one thing that I said, any great business, as you even know, we talked about the affiliate side of Amazon and Shop Stuff. Great businesses, they build their back off collaborations.
Yeah.
Be it Nike in any business. It's important. It gets bigger and better when people work together. And you cannot build a bridge without a team.
Yeah.
Or anything else for that matter. There's nothing on this earth that was built because one man did it. It took him a lifetime. But when one man does it and another man show up, you're like, damn, we can get this, guys. We can do this.
It's being open, being able to receive and then have the receptive mentality. Like I mentioned Jamarcus this earlier on this podcast that him and I were having conversation yesterday, and guys, he just stopped by here, so it's not like I'm freaking talking behind his back and stuff. So
nobody cares. Everything you say.
I gave him his feedback as because I want him to do good, because I want him to do better. Because why I give a shit. Now, why do I give a shit? Not I just freaking met him. I never talked to him before this.
The most powerful thing you could do in a moment is be who you're supposed to be.
Exactly. It's just naturally in me that I want to help. And also when I see somebody's doing better than me, and I come across, hey, that's my opportunity
to learn
instead of fucking hating on them. And a lot of in breeders' world. So my kennel, a lot of people think I'm breeder. Dude, once you get to know me, you understand that we own 6 different companies. So it's a different dynamic, and it's a business. So our kennel is a legitimate business. It's becoming bigger and bigger, and I'm grateful for that. But breeders would hate you no matter what. That's just a breeder world.
Well, I think it's rooted in the comparison thing. It's no regulation, so I don't think it should. But let me be very clear: when there are rules to the engagement, it's easier to be competitive, in my opinion. If the only thing you have is your word, that's a good thing. But in the breeders' world, it's about who's got the best dog in their minds.
In their minds, but they get kennel blinded.
Oh yeah,
they get kennel blind. They forget the facts. They don't talk factual. Like whenever I'm on my live, or freaking, hopefully TikTok comes back. My live will come back.
I'm telling you, man. I've never thought social media was gonna be so missed. I was like, damn, how do I take a shit today, man? I can't shit, and then I'm on this red note thing, and they all in Asian. I can't even. I gotta change my profile. I'm like, I can't read this shit.
Yeah.
And then I can't get the good stuff. So where the Negroes at? I need some funny shit, man. So I gotta go through the algorithm again.
Exactly. So then
this is awful.
Every time I'm doing that, I'm talking to people, I'm on live or content, or whatever. I never say the best breeder, the best dog. I've never said that. I always tell people that, hey, there are a lot of good breeders out there that doing good stuff. Do your research, ask questions, and then go support those breeders. Because I know for a fact, a lot of people don't even qualify to get my pup. I hardly ever have pups available. You know what I mean? So I always try to indirectly promote even those people out there that are doing a good thing and doing the right by the breed, instead of just creating a hoax that I'm the best, or I can.
It's so interesting to me though, because of how meticulous and how specific you are and detail oriented, that would ever come into your mind, because you are clear about the business. So some people live and die by their dog. You live and die by the business.
Yeah.
And it just so happens dogs at this moment in time are one of your business models.
Exactly.
So if I were you, there's nothing for you to talk about other breeders. Like it's a small conversation. It's like this. Somebody said, I got to go to shows and do such and such. I said, for what? He was like, well, get your name out there. I said, isn't that crazy? I've never been to a show the dog. And you know me.
Yeah.
I said, so is it about the shows or is it about branding? Because in my opinion, at the shows, it's a bunch of niggas wasting their time. I'm not paying $20 for an opinion. If you want to sell dogs, we sold dogs. People need to respect and fall in love with something about you, because that's sales. Do you know anything about sales?
Exactly.
Nope. Well, that's your real problem. It won't be the dog, my friend. It will not be the dog. You cleaning up, picking up shit, walking the dog. That's the easy part. You don't know nothing about sales. You're fucked. Because then back into that corner. Hey man, can you help me sell my dogs? I always tell them, nigga, you couldn't help me sell my dogs. So, and if you paid the price, I'm like, so what's the price of your pup? Pay me that, and I'll make a post. Otherwise, because that's fair.
Boom.
It's gonna get more views than your stuff. So that's marketing and advertisement. Do you have a department of that? When I built my digital media thing, I tell people, I said, when how'd you do that? I said, I focus on businesses that had bottom lines. I said, that music video thing, nope. Nope. If a business has a sales goal and a bottom line, that means they have a budget. You know what a budget is? They have a certain dollar amount they can dedicate to marketing and advertising.
Yep.
And in this case, social media now is a new arm of marketing that they might not understand. And I say, well, pay me this and I'll build this out.
Yep.
And they say, oh, perfect. And then they see the bottom line increase. And even when I was in the blendery, we was in there yesterday.
Yep.
A guy said, did you just post something? I said, you got the notifications on? And Tim smiles, because he goes,
I heard that,
They're literally, he said, Trevor, they're waiting for the next post now.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a thing. He said, I'll post once every so. He says, no. I'm like, he tells people, he comes in like, no, you need to be posting like 3 times a day. He said, this is crazy. How am I going to do that? I know what to do.
Yeah.
And he gives me that freedom, and then even now he's like, hey, let's go real quick, because he knows the formula, and the formula works. Is increase the business's profitability, because things are selling out in 7 minutes. People are waiting online. They see something go up. He gets 100 messages. Where's that whiskey at? How do I get that? Game over.
But again, with when it comes to dogs, people don't understand. So that is what, like $150, $200, $300, maybe $400, $500 bottle, right? Something like that.
125
So
up
something like
to
that.
260
Now-
and sometimes 3.
Now, if you're selling a pup, considering our kennel, or your dogs, whenever you have, those don't start like less than $4,000
At all. We can't
You
even
know,
start them for less than
So,
4,000.
so it's just that's how it is, and then that it goes up from there. So having that kind of clientele that people are willing to drop $4,000, boom, or $6,000, $8,000 on a puppy, it's big because. So first of all, it's a different clientele, different market we're targeting, and targeting as in to make sure our puppies are going to the homes that appreciate.
And you love
what
pet
they
homes, I presume.
Yeah,
You and me both, bro.
yeah. Pet homes are the best because they care about the dog differently than working dogs. In my opinion, this is just me.
No. I personally love because, we focus on health.
Yeah.
I love when a family calls and says, man, we just lost our dog. He was 15 years old. I said, oh, they understand the commitment to the dog. So if they understand the commitment, they've watched and go, we really wanted to learn about feeding too because it died from cancer. And then I now personally have a dog that died from cancer.
Yeah.
And I fed him damn near perfect.
Exactly.
And so now we got connective tissue. So when I hear pet home, I'm like, yes, because they're not in a rush and this is a vulgar word to use, but they're not in a rush to rape the dog to get some money.
100%.
And you go, hey man, sorry man, she got pregnant at a year. You go, motherfucker, shit, dude.
It's just pissed me off so much. It makes me angry. I don't
Your blood boil, right?
I don't get angry. You can't really piss me off that easily. But when I see these breeders and stuff, so I followed on Instagram this breeder. I was like, okay, he reached out, we talked, we exchanged, whatever, a couple of sentences, and then he made a post of he had a post. First of all, he's promoting health. So I was like, okay,
that's just a
good.
key word.
Health, and then you make a post of a Rottweiler tied with a freaking pit bull.
Oh wow!
I took a screenshot and freaking blocked his ass. I unfollowed him because I just can't support that. I can't have people.
But now you know why I don't follow breeders. Because in my mind, for one, I'm not comparing myself to them, but like, what am I going to learn?
Exactly.
What am I going to learn from someone who I don't even, that's why I said, bro, that word almost makes me sick, which is why, I know you say you're a breeder, but you're so much more, which is why this works. And we've talked about business and life and some breeding stuff. And he walked me through personally his pedigree. So I'm like, okay, you can read a pedigree. Perfect. I clearly I could do the same because we've got it right a few times. And I've obsessed about improving that 5%, right?
100%. So now improving, that's the word. People need to work, breeders need to work on improving their program. If they don't want to improve the whole freaking breed in general, try work on improving your fucking program.
That's it, man. That's it, man.
That's all. If you can do that, you're gonna contribute towards the breed betterment.
But realistically, your dream, see, and that goes back to the goal.
Yep.
So, what's the goal? Oh,
What's
you're
the
just
goal?
breeding to breed dogs? Hey, man, how do I get started? I'm like, start what? They're like, well, I want to become a breeder. I said, for what? Breed what? Like, we trying to breed chihuahuas? No, man, I want to get into the pit bull and the bully game. I said, what's the game? I don't understand.
I don't understand game.
I said, the game.
It's not the game.
So now I'm just annoying them, right? Because you go, the game, who's playing? What do you win at the end? What's the prize here? He goes, well, I don't know. I'm confused because I've got a lot of losses. And if it was about winning and losing, trust me, I'd have quit a long time ago, buddy.
Yeah.
It ain't no winning in this motherfucker. Every time your dog take a shit, every time your dog needs some food, it feel like a loss.
yeah. Dude, I have seen, I know, I never drop names on other breeders here on live or social media in general. I know people that put down their dogs because they didn't want it to spend $5,000.
What do you mean?
Like their breeding dog got sick.
Oh.
And they just don't want to drop $5,000.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. Some people can't though, man.
It's not about can't. That's where it comes down. That's where, okay, perfect. That's where it comes down to business. So when you're running a business, that shit's gonna happen.
Oh, facts.
But you can't. So you have. So you're running. You were telling me something about somebody slamming a button to stop.
Oh, yeah,
or
yeah,
something,
yeah.
Right, yesterday.
At Amazon.
So
the red buttons to stop the belt.
exactly.
They just hit it.
So they hit it. They broke the button. Whatever.
Over the course of years, it cost $80,000 in losses.
So what should they do? They just stop working on their warehouse.
No.
They spent money to fix that, and then they coach their team how to do it, because I've been there. And you take that analogy, that practice, and apply, because it's just a business. So your dog got sick, right?
Yeah.
Your dog got sick, and then you get that dog better, do whatever it takes as an ethical breeder. Then once you have, and then learn from those that moment.
Yeah.
That, hey, how can I avoid that stuff happening in future? How can I avoid? Perfect example. Yesterday when we walked in and there were like throw-ups and all this.
Oh, man.
That motherfucker's alive. I saw him.
Yeah. He'd be fine. Trust
He's
me.
alive. I woke up twice last night. I swear to God. I woke up. I came out.
You're peeking around.
I'm like, I want to make sure he's not freaking dropping dead or
He ain't
something.
gonna drop dead, man.
You know? So we learn from it that, hey, make sure the small toys and stuff
Gotta go, man.
they put away. They can't. The toys gotta be this big that they freaking can't swallow.
They gotta get some elephants, just have them walking around.
Yeah. So I know people that have done that. It's just sad. In breeding business, if it's a business, not a game, if it's a business, your dogs gotta eat. They gotta condition.
Tell me about it.
Even when they're not breeding. Perfect example, what happened with us, we just spend like thousands and thousands and thousands. I can freaking show receipts and stuff on surgeries and all that stuff. Though that female was planned, announced, I had 3 people already waiting to be bred, that she was supposed to be bred in February.
Man.
Now guess what? I'm not breeding her. I already told those people. She'll be bred next year.
Oh, that's the one you're pushing off to next year.
Yeah. Because of what happened, and she can recover full. Excuse me. She can recover full, and not now the whole year. She's still gonna cost me money.
You know what? I'm gonna actually do some reading and research into that valley fever, because I'd wonder what I'm developing is protocols for medications and issues in relation to food too. So I'm curious now, what would else help? And
now my next question that I want to ask Ted Locke, that I forgot, that I have an appointment with my vet next week, this week that I'm gonna ask, is because there is no prevention, there is no vaccine for valley fever, nothing, right? But we control that when we start giving fluconazole, antifungal, or if a lot of in some cases fluconazole the body doesn't respond to it, so they give itraconazole.
What does it do to the dog's immunity over time, though?
Nothing. It's like we've had dogs that had valley fever, and then one of our stud was on it for 2 years, Gonzo.
Yeah.
And no, nothing was wrong.
Still shot the club up and was good.
Yeah. He produced beautiful litters.
Because there are drugs that literally can stop a dog's semen count or
Yes, so I looked into that,
and
what I was doing, every 6 months I was doing semen analysis.
Yep.
To make sure that nothing's going sideways, because if it was going sideways, then I was going to give him supplements to help
boost zinc and all that other stuff.
So I had that understanding that I'm gonna help him this way, but no, it doesn't affect. It may or could affect females because females carrying the litter.
Yeah.
Now I don't know, and I don't want to know. I don't want to try what would happen to puppies in the womb once they have the viral, because viral is contained on fluconazole antibody, but they are present in the body.
Interesting.
So it's contained. It's not going bigger, it's slowly going out of the system, but it's present. So the titers, the way it works is like 1, 2, 2. The titers of the blood cells of the antibody has to be 1 to 0 or 1 to negative. Then your body, then there are no antibody presence. The Gonzo, I'll tell you, in 2022, he got freaking valley fever, and the problem with valley fever is it affects the part of the body or function of the body, and then it literally his testicles were swollen. So I thought he got bit
by like a spider or something.
And I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I'm looking, and then guess what? I took a picture and sent it to Terry. I'm like, bro, have you seen something like this before? And even Terry was like, dude, take him to the vet. Like that doesn't look right.
Something's wrong.
So we took him, but he was acting normal. So we took him to the vet. He was checked, and my vets are very, very good over there because we didn't know what's going on. They checked him, and he tested positive for valley fever. His titers came back 1 to 62. That's so high, it could have killed him. Damn. Because if we would have let it go, then that would have, because valley fever, once it is in spine and in brain,
you're done.
That's it. Then it's too late.
Look, we're at that 60-minute mark, and this is
shit. Okay, yeah, it's a big one.
This file gonna be ridiculous. Yeah. So I'm about to start this one in a second. Walk them through the last thing you would want them to know about goals, setting goals, friends, family, any of the stuff that you want to just close this one out with.
Yeah. First of all, have a goal in life for whatever you want to do. Doesn't necessarily breeding or anything. Whatever you want to do, and then ask yourself a question: why do you want to do that? That's very, very important. Second question, then, if you were to do XYZ, what do you want to be known as? Those are the 3 questions, very, very important. And once you have those answers, then reach out and do your research and reach out to your mentor. If you don't have one, seek one, find one, and a good one, not a piece of shit one. And then from there, you work backwards from your goal. So have a structure, tasks with measurables. Because if you do not have measurables,
let's work on that too, man, and keep going. But I'm just like, I like that right there, because I've often asked people, what your metric for success, and if you don't know what you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to be growing, you kind of stay where you're at. Like, I don't know what's wrong, man. It's not working. You go, well, what are you doing?
It's have measurables. And because those measurables will help you understand if you're doing what you're doing is working, if not working, how you can pivot it, how you can improve it. If it's just not going nowhere, maybe you need to change your methods.
Oh, very much so. People, listen, can't thank Syed enough. We're going to try to do one more before he leaves, which means I got to edit all of this stuff before he gets out of it, because all of his stuff's on his data, and I'm not putting this on my computer. I'm going to just, get it all done. But man, such a great sit down, and this is how podcasts get good, because you go, fuck, this thing is working, and you go, I could talk a little bit more, because it's just good stuff.
Uh-huh.
So now we've gotten to our third one, and he's just warming up.
Think
about that. Like, he just started getting good and just telling and talking and sharing. So we appreciate you listening to the UnMotivated Podcast. Definitely take heed to the stuff he's saying. So many different areas we could have went down rabbit holes in and continue to enlighten you and hopefully gave you some more information to apply to your life. But, simply put, people, stay motivated.
Thanks, guys.